Lately, I've been asking myself this one question, and that is, am I creating the life that I truly desire, or am I trying to escape my current life? It sounds like a trivial question, but it's a very intentional question. And the reason why I'm asking myself this is not just because I have to, but it's because I realize that I need to. Hmm. When you're living your life in survival mode, you don't make intentional choices. You make survival choices. You make the choice that needs to move the needle ahead. And I've been doing that for the past 5 years with every single job that I've taken. Most of the jobs, all of the jobs, well, most of them, because before I started my first master's, I didn't have debt. So all of the jobs that happened since my first master's degree, when I went into grad school and I was paying it while I was in school. I didn't have a scholarship for my master's at that institution. I have been working. So I was working to pay the loan, I was working to pay the degree. Well, I was working to pay the tuition before I got the loan, and then I ended up having to take the loan because the payment from my job was not enough to cover a specific semester at a time. And so all of the jobs that I've taken from that point forward have just been jobs that I needed to take because I needed the money. And if you've ever been in a spot like this, you know the worst reason to take a job is because you need the money. And that may sound crazy because obviously you're working to get paid. But when you need the money from your job, it's different from when you want to work and you're getting compensated from your job. It's not the same thing. It's not the same feeling. You don't experience the same emotions. It's just one feels trapped and one feels like an option. And that's why that's what I talk about a lot on my channel is being able to have options for yourself and creating that runway so that you make decisions from a more stable place instead of from an impulsive place. I am realizing that a lot of times we think we want different. Whenever we get stressed out, we want to move cities, we want to start over, we want a new job, we want new people around us, we want to change our environments, and we want to cut our ear off and change our color and all kinds of things that sometimes are very much necessary, but sometimes it's not that we want more and it's not that we really want different. We just want peace within the spaces that we have created. We just want to feel seen and heard within those spaces and not like we're living outside of our body and just watching our life go by. I realize it's not that we do just want more. Sometimes, yes, it's more, but more of the opposite things, not more of the success and the productivity and the money and achievements, but more of stillness and quietness and clarity and boundaries and self awareness and options. And a part of this is just realizing where we're at in all aspects of our being and realizing when we need to put down some things and understanding that your job is your job, it's not your entire life. And the separation creates a different movement, it creates a different flow. You show up different and you don't approach it from scarcity and fear. You approach it from strategy and with the idea that you are creating options for yourself, and this is just one option. And it's really easy to get caught up in this certainty mode where you're thinking, okay, this is my certain source, and I have to neglect myself to maintain it. And this is not me saying don't show up and do your job well. I think you should always do your job well. It doesn't matter where you're working because your reputation precedes you, right? So show up and do your job well, but understand that the other areas of your life that you're neglecting probably is the reason why you don't have that inner certainty, because certainty can never be external. The external certainties that we think we have, they're not lasting, and at any moment they can be pulled from underneath us. And what happens then? And so understanding that helps you to stay ready, to always be on your guard, and to always be on the lookout for other opportunities. I literally heard a video. I said I heard a video. I was watching a video, and it was actually a podcast. So I actually heard it because I had my headphone in and I was doing something while listening to the podcast. And in the interview, they were saying that when you're in school, a lot of times the reason why when you graduate, you have this culture shock as towards the workforce and everything outside of your regular school environment is because when you're in school, you're doing multiple different things, right? For example, when I was in school, I throughout my entire school life, even up until college, I was doing multiple different subjects a day. So every single 1 hour was something different. If I was in school for 8 hours, I was doing eight different subjects or six because I had lunch. And when I went to college, of course, and then I had sports, my different sporting activities. And guys, since I did my last video where I was talking about not having um different opportunities outside of school. Like I was literally a part of my rowing team at my university. I was a part of many different leadership organizations and volunteer activities. So I was doing a lot of different things, right? So as I literally sat down and went through my mental resume, I'm like, I cut out so much things. I've done a lot. But I was going to my multiple classes per day. So that's multiple different things. Then I had my leadership roles that I had to fulfill. I had internship roles. I had part-time jobs. And all of those things were different. I wasn't doing the same thing all day. I was doing multiple different things at a time. So I was doing a lot, but it never felt mentally overloaded because by the time my 1 hour time came from my class to finish, when I was getting to that point of exhaustion, I would have to move on to a different activity. So it's like I was always hitting a reset every single hour. So when you finish college and finish those experiences, and then you have a full job that is 8 hours of you sitting down or standing up and doing the exact same things, you feel exhausted a lot more because there is no differentiation. It's just the same routine task. And I think that is something to pay attention to, and that is why the optionality is so important, because when you're doing multiple things, you're creating multiple options for yourself and not just relying on that one thing. So if it does go away, you don't have that multifacetedness that we are all created to do. And it's not to be distracted or to be all over the place. It's just to be able to understand that there is no external certainty. The certainty is internal. And if that internal certainty and that internal compass is not steady, everything else is really a lie, because anything else can be taken or moved at any point. And so we stress ourselves out because of those fake certainties that aren't even certain, aren't even guaranteed. And it's not easy to turn our minds off from thinking about these things, because they do affect our lives, they do affect our movements, they do affect every single thing that we have in our lives, especially when it comes onto the financial part of it. When you lose your source of income, it affects every other area that you needed that money to cover. And so there's a natural fear that comes with um, taking back some of your energy from your place of from that one source, so you can put it into different things just so you can create options for yourself. It's a natural fear that comes with it. But I saw a post today by Andy Elliott. He said faith and fear, those who believe, who feel fearful or feel and can I talk, those who feel fearful and those who feel faithful are both believing in something that they cannot see. So it's your choice. Whether you choose to be afraid of the unknown or you choose to be optimistic and think it's going to work out. Both of those things you just cannot see. You just have to believe in it. And so at the end of the day, you just have to choose what you want to believe for your life and for the direction that you're trying to go. And both of those things feel hard to grasp, but it's necessary. Nobody's coming to save us. We are not going to be the exceptions. There, I have definitely showed up with my 1000% at every single job that I've worked, and at the end of the day, I've never seen any of those companies go out of business because I'm not there. So at the end of the day, I have to make sure that I protect my sanity and keep myself stable in a way that I can show up for myself in all of the other areas outside of my job to create that peace that I need for my life and to thrive. Yeah. And you, my friend, I'm wishing the same for you. As we're on this journey of investing in yourself, it's very easy to miss sight of what's most important. But at the end of the day, even if we don't get it right all the time, the ultimate goal is to get back up and to keep figuring it out. And while you're trying to figure it out, always give yourself the option and the grace needed to be able to balance the uncertainty, because there is so much that we just don't have control over. Just do your best in the areas that you can control, and everything else, just let it do what it needs to do. All right. Well, that's all I have for this video today. Thank you so much for watching and for being here with me. If you watched till the end and you have not yet subscribed, please consider subscribing and give me a like so the video can be pushed to more people, and share this to anybody who's in that messy middle and trying to figure out what's next. And also comment below, how do you deal with the overcoming of uncertainty? How do you push forward? I think the community would benefit greatly from hearing your response to that. And also follow me on all social media platforms at Khrista-Lee Amore. That's Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. And I will see you in my next video tomorrow. Let's go make some mistakes. Bye.